Welcome to Thrive with Nancy. Thanks for tuning into this podcast. Today, it's a bit tongue-in-cheek approach to a topic that will seriously impact your career over and over throughout the years. Ready to listen to, are you being undone by the uns in your life? Through this podcast, I know you'll recognize yourself and begin shifting your perspective to support your healthy, amazing career. Hey, do you ever hear yourself saying you're unsatisfied, unrewarded, unhappy? Too often you're living an unlife that slowly and surely spirals you downward into disappointment that chokes the life out of your enthusiasm. What do I mean? Let me randomly unwrap and unpack 3 uns that may lead you to experience a less than thriving career. Unprepared? Many of us working in today's fast-paced, busy world find ourselves rushing rather than spending that essential time planning, and it is to our detriment. Executives who strategize in advance save time and money as it increases the chances of success and limits the possibilities of miscalculation or failure. It also helps you respond faster and more creatively when elements go off course, as you know they often do. So if and when your brain shouts out, you don't have enough time to plan, say out loud, liar, liar, pants on fire, because that is what you're doing. Lying to yourself to save time will ultimately harm your career. On a more global perspective, a study by FCLT Global and McKinsey show that when executives consistently make decisions and investments with long-term objectives in mind, their companies generate more shareholder value, create more jobs, and contribute more to an economic growth than do peer companies that focus on the short term. Being unprepared isn't a mindset you want to continue unless you intentionally choose to be undone by this un in your career. Unappreciated. Many of the complaints I hear from executives regarding their boss or company in some way point back to this lack. There's little doubt that it is an essential element of a manager's toolbox, appreciating those who work for them. According to Abraham Maslow, recognition, meaning appreciation, is one of the 5 fundamental human needs after food, safety, and belonging. Wow, that really nails its significance, doesn't it? Research by WorkHuman confirms this when they found that 84% of workers who receive regular recognition, remember that's appreciation, say they feel more fulfilled in their work. 89% say they feel more motivated, and 78% of employees who receive recognition report feeling more committed to their organization. All really good news, isn't it? But if your career target is to be a leader, you fail big time by looking externally to others in determining your value. The reality is that the higher you travel up the hierarchy in your company, the less appreciation you'll receive. Why? Well, it's because you've already proven your value to them. You've already accepted and reveled and celebrated in being appreciated during your season at low to mid-level positions in your career. Now it's about the outcomes you produce through others. Instead of looking externally for your grade, look internally. Celebrate what you've done well and correct what you can do better that will position you as a leader so you never again feel unappreciated. Uninformed. Winging your business and career decisions will rarely lead to success, nor does it bode well for your future. Being uninformed is a vicious cycle. Career decisions that are neither well-informed nor align with your values, passions, and strengths lack the energy and persistence necessary to succeed in any venue. The executives committed to continuous learning and development are planting seeds for their future before ever living it. That's not a bad idea. Actually, Now that I think about it, it's a really significant one. When you don't honor lifelong learning, you are settling for being less than your potential. So you end up living an off-the-mark life as well as missing opportunities simply because you don't notice them. What do I mean specifically regarding learning and development? The obvious is that you need to stay relevant in your chosen field. Business is moving too fast to remain competitive with merely the expertise and knowledge you brought to your company. You must make sure you are keeping pace with the marketplace. And equally, if not more critical, is expanding your soft skill competencies. As you move to higher level positions, you lean more into the emotional components of the work to lead successfully. It's time to seriously add weight to these proficiencies, such as communication, empathy, conflict resolution, confidence, delegation, flexibility, honesty, mentoring, collaboration, integrity, creativity, strategic planning, resourcefulness, and openness. Phew, that's a lot. And I got to tell you, there's a whole slew of other vital soft skills for leaders in today's business environment. And honestly, measuring your soft skill success as you learn is more complicated. Unlike your expertise savvy, where you generate an A grade by expressing or testing your knowledge, it's not that way with soft skills. No, with soft skills, your A's only show up in the results of your employees. These soft skills also translate positively into organizational decision-making. Companies require executives who can anticipate the future and engage and align employees with the mission. Those who don't take time to anticipate potential future challenges and opportunities focus only on short-term gains at the expense of long-term sustainability. Thus, the organization misses profitability opportunities that harm the company. And just as important, you will never be seen as the high-potential leader you want to be without this focus. The pace of your career accelerates as you give up any uninformed, rigid mindset you hold. We've looked at 3 mindsets that kill off your ability to generate a future for yourself. Because if you don't, all you have at your disposal is an unimaginable mind. I know. Okay. This may have sounded a bit more inspired as I pictured it in my brain. What I'm attempting to say is that when you let too many uns take root, you will be shrinking your magnificent creation machine that activates your future. You're ready, aren't you, to replace any negative uns from your thinking and replace them with outright satisfaction, joy, fulfillment, success, achievement, salary increases, promotability, and abundance. I hope you had as much fun listening to this podcast as I had while producing it. But more than that, you now recognize signs of the uns you're permitting to sneak into your head. And believe me, there are plenty more I didn't have time to discuss. Now that you comprehend these sly, undermining attitudes, confront them head on, then transform them one by one. It's time to stop living an underwhelmed life and instead tap into joyousness and satisfaction. Yes, it requires effort, and you'll never be sorry. Are you an executive woman keen for more insights to empower and aid you in thriving? Check out the free resources on my website, Thrive with Nancy. I know you'll love it. If you're considering investing in yourself, isn't now the time to experience the Your Strategic Edge program as your pathway to success? It is where you and I create a full-on partnership for your career, for your future, for your success. Sign up for a free strategic call at thrivewithnancy.com/executive. No successful executive reaches the top or even arrives at their next destination alone. I'm thrilled you've listened to the Thrive with Nancy podcast. My intention is to offer quick tips designed for you to apply right away, ones that will boost your career immediately. I bet you're already considering ways to implement these new ideas. Perfect! Now, if you do me a favor, pass the podcast link on to those who will benefit, your friends and coworkers. Thanks so much.